While the Indian-American diaspora is in focus in the upcoming presidential elections in the United States, another area of convergence between the two countries is the domain of art. DD India correspondent Shubhendu Ghosh speaks to John Guy, the curator of South and Southeast Asian art at the famous Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York.
One of the best ways to learn about the diversity of Indian culture is through its art. I have with me someone who has done important work in this domain. I have with me Mr. John Guy, the curator of South and Southeast Asian art at the famous Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City. Your idea of the manner in which art has the power to bring nations and cultures closer?
I think in many ways, presenting art of diverse cultures in a large museum like the Met, which is one of the few truly encyclopedic museums of the world. These are global museums in the sense they try and present the wide range of cultures, the diversity of cultures globally. To present these to our audiences is a fundamental mission. It's an educational mission, and underlying that is a more profound one which relates to mutual understanding, respect, and hopefully world peace.
Can you also tell us about your interest in Indian art in particular? Any particular pieces of artworks that are close to your heart as a curator, and why?
Well, I've always been very drawn to the early phases of art in India, including particularly the Buddhist art, but also early Brahmanical and Jain imagery. And we were privileged to put together a major exhibition with very important loans from India the last year called Tree and Serpent, Early Buddhist Art of India, which highlighted Buddhist art from the southern regions. And this was an innovative project done in partnership with the Ministry of Culture and National Museum, ASI, and 6 state governments.
How do you see the power of art in bringing nations like India and the United States closer, the road ahead for a cultural diplomacy, if I may use that phrase?
But I think it's becoming increasingly important. In a troubled world that we live in, cultural diplomacy, what is now has become a fashionable term, I understand, in diplomatic circles, is now called soft diplomacy, and a way in which cultural engagement, sharing, partnerships, exchange of objects. Museums globally now are collecting less than they did in the past for the correct reasons.
That was the curator at the Met Museum, Mr. John Guy, talking about Indian art, the power of art in bridging cultural distances and the road forward for cultural diplomacy. This is Shubhendu Ghosh with camera person S. Shankar in New York for DD India.